Hey guys, good afternoon. It's Cali. I thought I would give you my cottage tour today that I've been talking about for a while. My house is reasonably clean, and I thought I'd take advantage of that and just kind of show you the rest of where I'm living at. What I'm showing you now is the view from my front door. You could see my car out front. It's the Blue Eclipse and the pond across the street, so that's the view from my front door that I have. I live in a small cottage, literally with a white picket fence, and you can see the snow melting. I'm going to turn around and be getting in my wheelchair, so starting from my front door is what I'll be giving you. But as you come up my porch, this is what you see on the outside of my door, and I have a lot of sons in my house, so come on in. I'm going to close the door, and I'm still standing, but I'll be getting in my wheelchair. Okay, the back of my door, this window I've covered with a woven mat that I actually made out of magazine strips from a magazine, just simple weaving. I do want to change that up, and I have bought some glass paint and some liquid leading, so I'm going to try my hand. It's going to be a little difficult to do standing up, though. I think it would be easier to lay that kind of stuff down, but who knows? Oh, and you guys, I think this is going to be a long video, so grab a cup of coffee or whatever you're drinking and get comfortable. And above my door, I just have another sun and moon combination with some cowbells, little bells. I don't know if they're cowbells, but bells. That's that. And I guess, which way should I show you? I should show you clockwise around my house, right? So let's turn here. Anyway, above, this is another sun above my coat rack. And there are my crutches hanging above a ginormous bag of bird seed. And I just have my helmet for my stepson, Nick, made me a motorized bike, which I plan on riding more of this year. That banner you guys have already seen, so that leads directly into my bedroom, which I will not be showing you again today. And actually, I have the bed stripped and stuff to do some laundry. But so my coat rack, and then I just have, like I said, ginormous bag of bird food, and this little table here made out of a milk crate that I had painted a while ago. I think it's kind of cool. You see where I keep my shoes, and notice there's one shoe. Of each shoe, it's just the right shoe. So, like I said, if you guys know any right leg amputees, I have a whole closet full of women's size 7 shoes left only. Here's that tray that I made with the CDs. And here's a cigar box that I'll be altering. And yeah, so those are my jackets. And you know what? I'm going to swing around and really, I think we're going to go this way. Okay, back to the door. Over here, and again, you guys, I've been here, it was a year in October, so I still have a lot of things that I want to do, and I'm able to get around really well, but I'm limited in hanging things and stuff, and I have to rely on Tom and my family to help me out that way, but I've managed to do okay, but there are still a lot of things that I want to do. So that's right next to my door when you come in. This shelf here tends to get knocked into a lot by people because of that ginormous bag of bird food. So I'm thinking I might move that. This is a little birdhouse that I just got the other day, and I'm waiting for it to warm up a little bit, and I'll put it outside, more for the novelty of it than the fact that I think any birds will roost in it, but that's hanging there for now. And also, I thought I would show you guys every light switch plate in my house is collaged, and this one is just various, oh gosh, I don't even know, Buddha and gnomes and faces and fairies. And so you'll see each light switch plate in my house is a different collage. I have this picture here that is an original photograph given to me by my dear friend Allie Malice. I went to school with Allie in high school, and we're still in touch on Facebook. and she gifted me with a few wonderful things, including my broom. But this is an original signed, numbered photograph, and it says Woodstock Children, and there's just two little kids in the woods, and I love it. So that's there. And then I'm not going to apologize for the lighting. It is what it is here. It's super, super windy out. Anyway, so here is my TV, obviously. And underneath the TV, I just have my phone and an incense burner and some of these stress balls. Love these things. I've had those for a while. I have another pair that I got at the auction. Incense burner. My Roku box. I do not pay for Time Warner cable for TV anymore, and I have unlimited TV. I pay approximately $90 a month for unlimited TV, Netflix, etc., and my internet. So I highly recommend you guys investigating a Roku box and checking it out. I can't really explain it very well of how it works, but if you go to their website or ask someone else who might know, Google it. It's worth it. This table here is just a random, there's that lamp I told you guys that I sprayed with the spray inks that I had gotten from Sarah at My Serenity Crafts. I'm just going to pull back. There's a framed poster of guitar chords. Handy in the living room. This is that Tree of Life painting, or whatever you want to call it, that I did with the foil and the wire. That is my most recent witch ball that got hung up in the corner. This is, I told you, I got this at the auction, and apparently it's a Japanese single bud vase. Again, Allie told me that. But I use it for incense, and you can see I actually need to clean it out now, but I just put the incense sticks in these little holes, and the sand catches the ashes, and I'm good to go. Here are some random mushrooms. Again, this glass one came from Allie. Thank you, Allie. Love it. And this one came from my stepson, my heart son, Nick. This is a leaf fountain. I love little fountains. I always have. And there's a little amethyst crystal in here. And that's nice and soothing. This table I got at the same store that I had gotten the cool stools in my bedroom. Hang on, you guys. I gotta get some coffee here. And underneath it, I'm starting to actually stack up my journals now that I'm making, but I have some journals and some random books again. One day I might do a little more in-depth look at these books because I have some really good ones. Coffee table books, if you will, but fairies, dragonology, goblins, castles, good fairies, bad fairies, Fairyopolis, a Flower Fairies Journal, Wizardology, The Way of Wizards, Gnomes, Witches, Giants, Fairies, and Lady Cottonton's Pressed Fairy book. I love those. All of them, actually. And I have another, well, I don't have it anymore. I had a Wand Maker's book, and I gave that one to Tom because he is my king of wands. And here's a box that I altered from the auction. I think I showed you guys this at one point. And I just keep some of the projects I'm working on. This, I think, has, just like bags and some of the Galaxy Stone pendants. Again, this is pretty much it's not a studio cottage because I have a bedroom, but it's basically one big room. And I love it here. Again, this is the first time I've lived alone since I am... have I ever lived alone? No, this is the first time I've lived alone, and I'm loving it. And again, Tom's right down the road, and he's got his space, and I've got my space, and I love my space. So I'm just hopping along here. I got out of my wheelchair. These are, whoa, big glare. My deck is a mess, so please forgive me. You're looking out 2 sliding glass doors that normally are directly in front of me when I'm filming. And I need to get out there. If it rained yesterday, and it's a little slick on the deck, so it's hard for me to move around. But maybe this week it's supposed to be glorious, and I'm going to get out there and do some cleaning up and planting and moving around and blah, blah, blah. But so on the inside, and again, it's hard for you guys to see, but I have these balls hanging and beaded things that I've made in front of the windows. I have there's that altered CD that I made. And that's one of the planters that I got from the auction with spider plant in it. You guys can see the birdies. If I just point this out here, you can see all the birds that are coming. But anyway, oh, see them flying away. So spider plant in here, and that's just on a little stand. And then I have a lot of plants here that need to be going outside soon. So I have ivy in a cauldron. This big plant with the red globe in it is going to go out, and that's lavender. And I have some rosemary in there. This arrow plant, I love this planter. Some of you guys might have seen this. So a lot of these things, look at this face. A lot of these plants will be going outside, but I pulled them in for the winter. So they're all just kind of crammed up in the corner here. Some cactus, moon cactus, a lot of my plants tell a story. This pineapple plant came from the auction, and it was one little stick that was dying, and so I brought that back to life, and that's coming along. And I have a lot of things. The Swedish ivy came from my friend Mackie, and this came from my friend Jeff. I just have a lot of memories and things. Ivy, and I love plants. I love gardening. Like I said, one of the things I miss the most about my last place that I lived, I had a huge organic garden. And but again, I'm making the most of it, and I'll be planting again on my deck this year, so can't complain. Moving along, here is a salt lamp from my daughter Rachel, and a beautiful pentacle, carved wood, and this is a altered bottle that I made years and years ago. It's a big old milk bottle. Philodendron climbing up the sun mirror. This banner across the top I made, I don't know, few months ago, within the last year. And that was just made with some old silk fabrics I had laying around. This sun, I've told the story of, I used to have parakeets, and the parakeets landed, they were kind of free flying, turned into a nightmare, around my house, and they ate the sun in many places. They thought it was delicious and nutritious, and it made them feel ambitious. But anyway, I've had this sun for years and years, since I'm 18 years old. I got it from my friend Antoinette Lund. So Antoinette, if you're watching this video, I would love to get in touch with you. There is the, I'm hopping over, guys. There is the picture that I made with Lynn's moon and the silhouette of the fairy that I did, this I believe. Another witch ball hanging. Up here in the corner is one of my very favorite M.C. Escher prints. I love M.C. Escher. And sorry I can't get closer, guys. It's the stairs. These are just random. I love this candle. My son got me this, and I haven't burned it. And when you first burn it, it cries tears out the eyes. So once it did that, I just stopped burning it and left it the way it was. This is a box that my Tibetan singing bowl came in, and I just thought it was really cool. So an armorillery. This leaf is hand carved from Africa, And I got this leaf when my son-in-law was in the hospital in Maryland. He was shot in the war very severely. He did survive, but this was sold by a vendor in the hospital in Maryland when I went to see him, and I've never seen so many devastated lives. But that's a whole nother story. But he did survive. Anyway, I got that from there. Let me see. Some of my CDs, which at this point CDs are becoming obsolete now. Like any other form of music, I think about the old vinyl that I've had that I no longer have, and it kills me. Never mind 8 tracks and cassettes and all that stuff, but I have some random CDs. I'll go through them another time if anybody cares. There is a random just hanging Green Man on the wall, and I'm on the couch right now, and this is usually where I sit when I film my videos. Again, this would be the table in front of me that I set up my camera on, and I use the lighting from this window. So it's just a big sectional couch, and I've had this for years, and I love it, and it's super comfortable. This coffee table was given to me by my friend Jody. And Jody, if you're watching this, I love this coffee table. It tells so many stories. And this is the coffee table that I told you, Melanie Safka, the singer, songwriter. I had the honor of hanging out with her for an afternoon. She came to my house, and one of the first things she said to me was, "I dig your coffee table." And that made me so happy. And I played it really cool. Like, I was super cool that she was in the house. But inside, I was like, oh my God, oh my God. I was like fangirling. But she was really cool. I met her and her husband, Peter, and their children. I also met Richie Havens, and that's another story. But anyway, I met some cool people. I told some of you guys I used to live across the street from the original Woodstock site. Why am I showing you remotes and a guitar tuner? I don't know. Here's my laptop, my mouse. This is where I sit most of the time. My coffee. So this is really my view for most of the afternoons that I'm here, sitting here, and looking around. There's the door, and there's my bedroom again. So I'm going to get off the couch, and I'm going to continue. We're already at 16 minutes. Oh my gosh. Sorry for the movement. Here we go. Let me take another sip of coffee. If you look up, here is another banner of peace flags that are hanging. I really, really love prayer flags, and I would have them in every room if I can. I bought some for Tom. He loves them as well. He's got some. Here's some hanging bells hanging off my ceiling fan. Okay, so next to the couch is this old beat-up table, and actually I really have to... I don't want to get rid of it, but it's coming apart. There's strips of wood that my grandkids are pulling off now, but on the table is a velvet cover that I made and just put some bells on. And this is where I keep my crystal ball, you guys. And definitely this is one of my most treasured possessions. I know you're supposed to keep it covered, but I don't. And I cleanse it often, and I love it. And so right now that's where she sits. I did have her on the dining room table, but it got, and you'll see, like, I have the perfect tablecloth for it, but it's got in the way of eating and doing things, obviously. So anyway, there she is. And here's just a bowl of random crystals that I keep. It tonight is a full moon, as well as the eclipse. That's a galaxy stone I made. But I will charge these up by the light of the moon, and I keep them there. My grandkids love this little table here. I shared with you the sound of the Tibetan singing bowl. Love them. Here's an old spice rack that I had probably gotten at a garage sale or a flea market, and I keep it full of just random, for no particular meaning or anything else. These are just beads and baubles. Some crystals. Here's some amethyst crystals. Seed beads, black pearls, just random things, just because it looks cool. And I also keep some random feathers in here, as well as always a steady supply of Nag Champa incense. And I have a candle snuffer. I'm sorry, I'm not even looking at what I'm showing you guys. Candle snuffer here. So, yeah. Here is a barrel that we got at a garage sale that was already covered with like blue fur. So it's a great little seat. And I think it looks really cool. And that is next to my drum. And my guitar, which needs new strings right now. But I've been playing guitar since I'm about 14, and I haven't made much progress since then. I could play a decent 5 or 6 chords well, but how many do you need? You know, Neil Young and Bob Dylan made a living off of 3, maybe so. But anyway, I don't play a lot. I do sing a lot, but I love my guitar. And yeah, that's that. So this very cool cabinet table, whatever you want to call it, literally was found on the side of the road. Tom and I were driving down the road one day, and I was like, oh my God, what is that? And I'll show you what else I got next to it. I couldn't believe what people throw away. But this is where I keep, I'm not going to show you, this is where I keep Glimpse in there. My paints and a lot of my art supplies. Down here, I just have like markers and glue and things like that. So I have a lot of art supplies in there. On top of this, I have this medieval chess set that my daughter Danielle got me one year for Christmas. I love to play chess. And I love this set. It's beautiful. My grandson likes to play army and fight with them, although he has expressed an interest in learning how to play. So I have another set that's a little easier to understand the differences between the pieces, because these are very similar in a lot of ways. But it's super cool. And yeah. So there's that. And I have an hourglass here because I love them and they're wonderful. This is something that we got at the auction, and I use it to burn resin incense in. So I put burning charcoal in there, and I drop crystallized resin incense on top and use that to burn. This fairy I got from my grandkids for, I want to say Christmas, but I don't think it was Christmas. I forget. Valentine's Day? Something recently. And this isn't, my daughter knows I wouldn't normally buy something like this because it's a little too, I don't know. But I love it now. I love it, love it, love it. And it had pink flowers. And I painted them purple, of course, and I also painted her wings purple. But it's solar powered. It's meant to be in the garden. This is like resin. And during the day, it charges up here. And at night, it turns on. And let me see if I can actually turn it on and show you. And it glows. Whoa! Not good. Fairy flying away. It glows blue, and it's really super pretty and bright. I can't believe I'm trying to do this with one hand here. It's not working out for me. I guess you can't see it in the daytime. Anyway, trust my word. So there's that. There's Fairy, and she probably won't go outside because I don't want her to get ruined. Yeah. So looking up, I have another little, hanging celestial wind chimey thing. This thing, it's like a flask. I got at the auction, and that's kind of cool, just hanging on the wall. Here's one of the bottles that I made with some philodendron hanging there. Back to the fairy. This is all the back of the couch now, okay? Here is where I told you I have really limited supplies and space to keep my supplies. So I try to keep things neat and in order so I know where everything is. And this is a lot of my art supplies here. In this box, I keep stencils. In this box, I have, these are old wine boxes. In this box, I have like random embellishments and stickers and things like that. So things to art journal with, basically. This is my paper cutter, which I'm only just starting to use. I got as a birthday gift a couple years ago from my sister Donathan. So Dawn, I'm starting to use that paper cutter now. This is a box full of drawing pencils and graphite and charcoals and erasers and things like that. This is an old vanity case that I got at the auction, and it was in great shape. And I basically Mod Podged it with tissue paper. And I need to do the inside cover here. I imagine it used to have a mirror in it, but I am going to finish that one day. But right now, I'm just keeping my stamps in here and inks. This is another little bookcase that I have down here of some kitchen cookbook stuff. Home preserving and witch in the kitchen and Diet for a Small Planet, vegetarian cooking, garlic lovers cookbook, the original Fanny Farmer cookbook from 1896, foraging and feasting, a field guide and wild food cookbook, which is really wonderful. The illustrations of that are amazing. This is a book that I was thinking about altering, using as an altered book, because it's basically a dictionary of food terms. And the Spice Cookbook, Food and Wine. Again, these are a couple books that came in an auction box lot that I didn't want to throw out, but I might alter. Food is Medicine. This is a really good book. And the Good Fat Cookbook, I've had that for years, and honestly, I don't think I've ever even read it. That could possibly go up for altering too. But it has avocados on it, and I love some avocados. So that's next to the little thing there. On the other side of this pole, I have an old-fashioned pencil sharpener. And got that at the auction. Another one of these, which I think I'm going to add some polymer clay to. Decorate the outside. And what else? I showed you guys this little frame. And here's one of these old-fashioned things. A lot of this stuff, again, from the auction. That you can leave. They used to hang them on outside people's houses, and you could leave a note inside. So there is a note inside, and it's a secret. I'm not going to tell you what it says. This is a kind of a cutout candle holder. Here is a kind of a embroidered mandala wall hanging with some metal embellishments. I love that. Tom got that for me. Here is the sun hook. That was one of the metal hooks I got at the auction. There is a paper star. Another hook. Okay, so I got this outside on the side of the road, right? That big heavy cabinet. And right next to it, folks, was this garbage can. Are you kidding me? It was still in the box. And the reason they were throwing this out, I'm presuming, you guys, is because of this dent. Do you see this tiny freaking dent? Okay? These garbage cans are like 80 bucks, 90 bucks. I mean, this is a good one, you know? I couldn't believe it. It's beautiful. Hello, free on the side of the road for me. And I was in need of a new garbage can that day, too. Don't you love when that happens? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to start talking quicker because we're almost at a half an hour. I'm not going to show you the bathroom today because that's a whole nother video. That could take me a half an hour in itself. So maybe I'll do that next week. There's also a really loud fan in there, so I'm not sure how that's going to sound. But anyway, here we go. This is my refrigerator. On top, I have a few of those plates, platters and bowls that I get at the auction. A couple of cool carafes and neat-looking bottles. That back one is covered in brown leather, but it's actually flaking and falling off. Every time I touch it, it's falling off. So I'm going to have to alter that in some way. I was hoping to be able to preserve it, but no. Here's some random postcards. This was done by Sarah, Sweet Sarah. I sent that with the sprays she sent me, and I love it. These are the my art I told you that I made refrigerator magnets out of, and I thought they came out great, shrunk down. A couple more postcards, pictures of my beautiful grandbabies, random postcards, artwork from my grandkids. These are whee! I love this stuff. I treasure it for sure. Cool magnets. Let's see. Isn't this exciting, you guys? I think it is kind of cool to get a glimpse into somebody else's life, though, you know? We're all a little voyeuristic. This is just the side of my refrigerator. I have some random quotes. Some cool magnets. Whoop. Blessed are the peacemakers. This was a cool project that I made. It used to have an air plant in it. Well, I managed to kill the air plant. Don't ask me. I do have one remaining living. I wonder, Lisa, if you're watching this, did your air plant live? Tom's is still alive, but mine's not. This is cool. These are, they're called buckyballs. They're little magnets. They don't make these, just the little ones. The other magnets I've thrown on there, but they don't make them anymore because little children have ingested them and had some serious intestinal issues. So watch your magnets around little children. Which, you know, watch anything with small pieces. Anyway, so, okay, here in my little kitchen, and this is perfect, you guys, because I can get around in my wheelchair with no obstructions. It's very easy for me. It's perfectly sized for one. Again, I have a couple of cookbooks up here. I have old Julia Child cookbooks over there. I told you I've been vegetarian since May. So the Moosewood cookbook, Passionate Vegetarian. A couple of crocks. I get great crocks at the auction. Great bowls at the auction. Just got some avocados yesterday. These are old cookie presses, I think, for like shortbread cookies. But I just thought they were cool. Could use them for clay. There is my pride and joy, my KitchenAid. I love my KitchenAid mixer. And I don't even have to explain why. Those of you who love to cook know why. I hung this up not too long ago. I had gotten this shadow box at a garage sale, and it was in my bedroom. It has a glass cover to it that I took off. And speaking of air plants, here's my last remaining one that's still alive. But I just filled this with some random stamps and artwork, buttons, and pieces of me, folks. Crystals, little bottle I made, remember? Some polymer clay stuff, a bird's nest with a marble in it, gnomes, and these are those matchbooks with porcelain picture or some kind of something. Anyway, and then my cabinets. Coffee, very important to me. I have not kicked the coffee habit, nor do I think I really ever will. I've gotten rid of so many vices that that is still one that remains. Coffee as well as Dentine ice, gum. Here are some just random, you know, oh my goodness, canisters. And I have this, has been so handy. I've hung this twine here, and I use these clothespins so I hang up stencils if they're drying or blah, blah, blah. Right now I have bananas hanging on it. There's a copy of the picture from the original Woodstock site. Here's one of my favorite fairies. She's got some glass wings just hanging out. Another stoneware crock. This is a reminder to myself of these are my friends and I don't eat my friends. And no judgment if you do. For, 48 years of my life, I ate meat and enjoyed it. I was a bacon fanatic. I've just chosen to not anymore, but I don't judge anybody. More spice rack with more beads and just randomness. I like how that looks. The rules for being human, in case you ever forget them. I could show that in more close-up detail at some other time. I'm going to try to speed it up. This is my kitchen window, and it's so hard. I've tried to photograph these beads before, but obviously because the light is coming through so much. But these are all, I've worked on these at various times. These ribbons I've recently got at the auction, and I just added pentacle charms to them. And I'll add hooks at the top. I just string beads or deconstruct necklaces. I wonder if you guys are really seeing this stuff clearly because of the light, but I'm going to keep it in there because I wanted to. Above my sink, I have marbles and stones and a mister and an owl and a bowl of inspiration and love, joy, and magic. And here's a wind chime, African violet, a bell, a random bottles. This is what I'm working on today. This is normally where I do my artwork. I'll roll my wheelchair right up. I have the sink right here. I have my supplies behind me, remember? And then I'm just right here, and I put a drop cloth down, and this is what I'm working on today. I'll do a video tomorrow after the auction. You know, we're going to the auction tonight, and I'll do another video tomorrow, but I shared with yesterday's video that April's journal is